Hidden in the shadows of galactic history lies a secret cult so old, so relentless, that it defied death itself. This is the story of the Sith Eternal. In the lore of Star Wars canon, the Sith Eternal is a clandestine cult of Sith loyalists operating in secret across generations. They are stationed on the hidden world of Exegol, worshipping the ancient Sith and serving as the spiritual foundation of Palpatine's return. Their ultimate purpose is not just to resurrect the Sith Lord, but to restore Sith dominion over the galaxy through ritual, occult engineering, and unwavering faith. In the decades after the fall of the Empire, the Sith Eternal labored in secrecy, raising armies, constructing starships, and indoctrinating generations. Their military arm was known as the Final Order, embodied by legions of Sith troopers in blood-red armor, and a fleet of Sistine-class star destroyers built for war. But the heart of their power lay in ritual, in secrets of the Force, and in unwavering worship of Sith doctrine. While their chain of command remains largely mysterious, the Sith Eternal's doctrine intertwined spirituality and fealty to a single Dark Lord, Palpatine himself. A pivotal concept that the Sith Eternal revived was the doctrine of the Force Dyad, the notion that two Force-sensitive individuals can become one bond, amplifying their power beyond the sum of parts. In Sith tradition, the rule of two, one master, one apprentice, was the dominant paradigm, but Palpatine's cult envisioned something more, a cosmic pairing unbreakable by death. Thus, Rey and Ben Solo were drawn into a dyadic link, a core hinge in Palpatine's plan to resurrect himself. Now, beyond the spiritual ideal, the Sith Eternal embedded ancient Sith names and legacies into their military organization. They named their legions after fabled Sith lords from legends: Darth Revan, Andadu, Tenebris, Phobos, Dessalus, among others. These namesake legions served as a symbolic link between the old and the new, reinforcing that the Sith Eternal saw itself as inheritors of a whole tapestry of dark tradition. In The Rise of Skywalker, the Sith Eternal steps fully into the foreground as Palpatine's hidden army. Their presence was the silent necropolis behind the First Order, their power the secret foundation of his resurrection. Exegol housed their primary base, vast shipyards, catacombs, ritual chambers, and billions of indoctrinated souls, including slaves, engineers, and acolytes. Palpatine manipulated the cult, directing General Pride and the First Order to carry out acts of terror as a show of strength, all to align the galaxy toward his final hour. In the climactic ritual, Rey and Ben Solo's dyadic bond was exploited to channel immense Force energy. Palpatine siphoned their power to restore his cloned body and unleash his coup on the Resistance as the cult stood witness. Yet in the end, the destruction of the Final Order fleet and the collapse of the Sith Citadel on Exegol eradicated the cult once and for all, their fate tied to the Sith Lord they served. While the Sith Eternal is a relatively new concept in canon, its DNA echoes concepts from the expanded universe. In Legends lore, cults like the Disciples of Ragnos served ancient Sith legacies devoted to the memory of their masters and bound by deep mystical bonds. The use of ancestral names like Revan and Andadu evokes the tradition of holocrons, Sith lineage bloodlines, and the preservation of forbidden lore across ages. And even Darth Bane, the architect of the Rule of Two, looms spectrally over the concept of succession. Palpatine claimed that his own essence was suffused with the spirits of Sith since Bane. In thematic terms, the Sith Eternal embodies a recurring Star Wars motif. Death is not the end. The cult's belief in resurrection, identity transcendence, and occult continuity recalls ancient Sith ambitions to cheat death. But in the end, the Sith Eternal died not by brute force alone, but by the collapse of its own foundation, reliance on one master and the hubris of immortality. Yet its legacy lingers, a provocative reminder that the darkest powers are not always overt. Sometimes they are whispered, hidden, and built over centuries. The Sith Eternal may be gone, but their ambition, their doctrine, and their echoes in history persist in the shadows. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, subscribe and follow for more Star Wars content.